Hello, Andrew here from Sea Run Fly and Tackle, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to tie a very effective bait bag, which will work excellent for trout, salmon, and steelhead fishing in both rivers and lakes throughout BC. So a few things that we're going to need to tie a bait bag. First of all, we'll need bait mesh, spawn net. It goes by a couple of different names. So there's a variety of different colors available in bait mesh or spawn net. And there's two different sizes that I work with. There's a 3x3 sheet or a 4x4 sheet. We'll as well need spider thread or magic thread. That's a sticky thread that'll tie the bait bag together once the bait's in it. And then the bait that we put inside of the mesh is going to be natural cured roe. It could be boraxed or pro-cured. Salt hardened single eggs. We can use krill, deli shrimp, prawns, and we can also use artificial plastic eggs, such as these clear drift eggs. Another thing that I like to do is also put scent on the bait bag once we're finished up. So I'll show you all that in just a sec here. So first of all, we're going to need to take a pre-cut sheet of spawn net. I'm going to start with some salt hardened single eggs. I'll take a nice little handful of them here. Now, there's no right or wrong as to how many you use. You can use 3, you can use 10. It just depends on the size of the bait bag you want to tie. So once those eggs are in there, we're just going to take the 4 corners and we're going to press them together. So we'll just tighten up our bait bag here. We'll pinch that down with our index finger and our thumb. And now we'll take our spider thread. And the spider thread is really sticky, so it'll glue itself together as we wrap it. So we're going to wrap the spider thread around the mesh to lock it up. We're going to go about 20 wraps, pulling with just enough pressure that it really locks itself together, but not so much that it breaks. And when we get to about 20 wraps, we're going to pull tight and we're going to break that thread off, and then that really ensures that it locks together nice and tight. So we have a little bit of thread left there. We're just going to trim that off. And then the mesh at the top, we're going to trim, but we're going to leave a little bit there. And I'm going to show you why in a sec when we get this onto a hook. But before we put that onto a hook, I want to show you tying just another bait bag here. This time we're going to use krill. We could do the same thing with deli shrimp or even prawn. Same thing goes. Mesh in the hand. I got a nice little batch of cured natural color krill. We could use dyed krill. Same thing, we're going to close that up. Just form that into a little ball. Get those ends pinched tight. I like using krill in the bait bags. They don't stay on the hook very well, but when they're in the bait bag, they do stay on very, very well. So we'll go back to our spider thread, and again, wrap that with a bit of pressure. We'll say about 20 times or so. And then pull tight, break that off, really locks it in place. Trim the mesh, leave a little bit on top. Get that thread off, so now we have a krill bag as well, which we could use. And finally, I'm just going to show you here using the artificial plastic eggs. Again, same thing. Mesh pre-cut in the hand. We'll put some eggs in there, however many we desire. Again, whatever color we want to use. Pinch those 4 ends. Make a nice little bag. Take our spider thread. Wrap that about 20 times again with some pressure so it all glues together. Pulling tight at the end, snap that off. That's locked in place. We're going to trim that mesh. Trim the thread. So, pretty quick there right away. I have 3 different bait bags which we can use. So to use them, of course, we got to get them onto a hook. So here's a real easy way to get a bait bag on a hook. So we left that little bit of mesh off the top of the bag, and we're going to take a hook. In this situation, I have a number 1 Gamakatsu octopus hook, very commonly used for steelhead salmon fishing. And you can really simply just stick the hook through that mesh, hang that bait bag off the end of the hook, cast it out into the river or the lake, and you're going to be fishing properly there. So another way we can do it, we can take a jig, and jigs are super effective for salmon, trout, and steelhead fishing. And we can take our bait bag. Again, we got that mesh on the top of the hook. We'll just take the jig hook, stick it through, and now you have a bait bag hanging off your jig. So we can add bait bags to a variety of different things. A couple of my favorites are just a bare hook or on a jig. Works super effective. And you'll want to fish that, for the most part, suspended under a float in either a river or a lake. You can also use that lake fishing or river fishing on a bottom fishing rig. No float, just letting the bait sit off the bottom. So really easy to do, very effective. Anywhere you're allowed to fish with bait. This is something I'll want to have in my arsenal for salmon, trout, and steelhead. And I just want to show you finally, we can add even more scent. And scent always attracts fish as long as it's the right flavor. One of the best flavors for salmon, trout, and steelhead is shrimp or krill. So I have my salt hardened egg bag. I can take a little bit of this Procure shrimp krill scent. Let's just stick this on the hook like we're on the river going fishing. You know, and while that is on there, I can just take a little bit and we'll just squeeze a bit of the gel on there, just apply a bit more scent. And that'll, I think, help increase our bites by adding that Procure scent. You know, especially if there's other people on the river using row bags, but without that extra scent on it, that does make a difference. So, hope that helps you feel confident tying row bags. Good luck fishing. Thank you.